Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today we'll be working on a little, I call it a 3-sheet wonder. It uses 3 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock to build, and I will walk through the one that I have finished, and we will build just the build together, and then you can decorate however you would like. But I will show you a decorated one. This album ends up being 6 1/4 by 6, and then it is a 1/2 inch deep. So it's got 1/2 inch, and it's just a folio. And I didn't decorate the side. I do have enough cardstock to decorate the end, so maybe I will do that. But it does use 3 sheets of 12 by 12. In addition to that, I had 8 full sheets of the Garden Goddess 8 by 8 decorative cardstock. Plus I had a few strips of scraps. And this is what I have left for scraps right now. And I'm just going to save these. They're big enough to make some flowers with. So I'm going to throw those in my box that I'll just use and just be able to make some flowers up with that. I did have some smaller scraps, you know, some little strips and things like that that you could use to make tags. Just do the patchwork type style. But I'm not going to mess with those. So I threw those away. I used 1 magnet in the cover. I used brushed corduroy ink. And that's about it. So, and I did use, what else did I use? Oh, I used front and back cover for this too. Just some pieces that were there. So on the front here, we just got, and then most of these, all but I believe the back, are 5 7/8. And the back, because it's a little longer, you're going to need a 6 and, yeah, you could get away with a 6-inch piece. But so you could easily do this book with a 6 by 6 paper pad. I just happen to have just some of the Garden Goddess left from another project, and I wanted to use it up, so this is what I made. So this is our cover, and there's nothing fancy because it's a folio. There's no you know, extra elements in there per se, so it's just for photos basically. And then it opens this way, and then you flip this way, and it's got a nice little flip there, and then it flips this way, and you got another flip. Then it flips again to the left, and you have a pocket here, and to the right, and you have a pocket here. And then you have a large pocket created back here. So I did not do any tags for this. Just wanted to show you what it looked like decorated. And like I said, it takes 3 sheets of 12 by 12. So let's go ahead and start the build. So I have pre-cut 2 sheets of 12 by 12 in half at 6 inches. And then my third piece of 12 by 12 is cut into 4 squares at 6 by 6 inches. So our first piece is called our base, and that is on the 12-inch side. You're going to score at 2 3/8 and 2 7/8. You're going to flip it and score again at 2 3/8 and 2 7/8. And you end up with a 1/2 inch gusset on each side. So that's the base of our album. Our next 3 sheets are all going to be scored on the 12-inch edge at 2 7/8 and 3 inches. Flip it, 2 7/8 and 3 inches. So they're all going to be scored the same for those 3. So on the base number, our second piece that is scored at 2 7/8 and 3 inches on each end, we're going to take that And on one of our flaps, I don't see my little, oh, here's one. I'm like, I'm missing my, I have to cut another one. All right. So what I've done is I've got some 1-inch strips here. And I'm going to need another one because I don't know where my other one went that I had ready. So just a strip of cardstock, 1 inch wide. So let's just cut another one here out of this scrap here. And those were just taken from scraps out of my stash, so it's not a big deal. And then I'm just going to come in here, make a mark, or I can use my other one, and then just slice it with my scissors. They don't have to be exact. Okay, just like that. And instead of getting out my scoreboard, I'm just going to take these and fold it, just like that. Perfect. All right, but if you're going to score it, then you can score it at a 1/2 inch. All right, so we're going to attach these on the outside. So this happens to be textured cardstock. So I'm going to close this. So on our outside of our pockets, when their flaps are closed in, we're going to attach our little hinges there. And you can just attach a pocket on there, just put the paper down on there. But I found that it's pretty tight, so I like a little bit of extra room there for tags to go in and out of. So that's the only reason I'm doing that. So otherwise, if you want, you can direct glue right down onto those. Let me do that. All right, so put this one here. There we go. All right. Now for the center of this, we're going to cut that center pocket there. So I'm going to take a scrap piece, and this one looks like it's about 6 inches wide, but let me measure it. This is just a scrap. Yep, 6 inches. So that's going to fit right in there nicely. I'm going to fold this scrap piece in half. And then I'm going to draw a design. So I'm going to start with my outside edge here. So, and I'm just going to start coming in, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to create a little design just like that. And you could just, if you wanted to just do, you know, an oval or whatever, you can do that. I just kind of like the fancier shape. So we fold it because we want a mirrored image. We want it the same on both sides. So this is what happens when we do this. We get the same exact on both sides. I'm going to flip this over because I'm going to draw on the back side, not on the front side. So I don't have that. I'm going to place my stencil in between my 2 score lines, and then I'm just going to draw out my cut there. Okay. I'll grab my scrap mat. You can cut it with scissors. I just find I have better luck with just a blade. I don't end up with such jagged edges. And I'm just going to come in here and follow my line. Like I said, if you want to use your scissors, you can. I just find I have better luck with a blade. Right. There we go. We're going to save that. We're going to save our stencil because when you go to decorate your paper, you're going to need that same stencil to match it. So let's flip this back over. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach this inside of here. So we need 2 more hinges. Okay. So let's take another scrap piece of paper. And we need 2 1-inch strips again. This time, because these are longer, I'll probably get out the scoreboard for this. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can just fold it in half like we did the other one. It's just a hinge, so it's not gonna be that critical. Okay. I think my scoreboard's still down there. So let's go ahead and grab our hinges. And again, just 1/2 inch, got our 1-inch hinges. This comes together quite quickly. I think I figured with cutting and putting together, it takes me about a 1/2 hour, which isn't too bad. You can do it. It takes a little bit longer to decorate, but not bad because you're not doing anything real fancy, so it isn't that time consuming either. Oops, I left my glue open. Okay. So it's not bad at all. It goes together real quick. So if you wanted to build a bunch of these with your paper and use up your scrap paper, I think that would be an excellent idea. All right, we're going to attach our hinges to the outside edge here, and we're going to stay away. I want to check my position here, because it will be about a 1/8 of an inch on each side, and I just want to make sure I've got that right. Okay, so I'm going to flatten it out so I'm not gluing to my little gusset there. And we're going to line that. Oh, that worked out about perfect. Those must have been about 6 inches high already, so perfect. And then, there we go. This one I had a score boo-boo. That happens sometimes, so. But by the time we get this in there and we decorate it, you're not even going to notice that score line. So we just want to make sure we glue down to the right one there. That happens sometimes, especially when I was figuring out how I wanted to design it. Okay, I'm going to, and remember to make sure that those hinges are opening towards the inside. I'm going to come in here with my scissors and I'm going to trim off the excess there and here. There we go. All right, perfect. Now we can come in here and we can attach this down. And again, remember, you're going to have about 1/8 of an inch on each side there. So I'm going to get my glue on my hinge. And I'm going to get this one side glued down first, and then we'll get the other side glued down. Matching up my bottom there. Okay. About 1/8 of an inch there. Let me lift that up and show you a second here. Let me get this pressed down first. There we go. So you can see there's about 1/8 of an inch between that line and where we just adhered that side. Okay, now we can open this up. I'm going to run a bead of glue along the bottom because this is a pocket, so I'm going to close that up and then also get glue on my other hinge. And you can do it all at once if you like. If you want to do it that way, you sure can. And I'm going to come in here, make sure my bottom's lined up for that too, just like that. And I'm just flattening my gusset down for right now, flatten it in towards me. And then switch that, and then we're going to seal that bottom edge there. There we go. So we have that, okay. Perfect. Now we can take 2 of our 6 by 6 inch pieces here, and we're going to attach those. Why is that short? Oh, it must have been a scrap piece or something. It's not 6 by 6. We're going to attach that right to our panel here. And again, we're going to be mindful of our line there where our gusset begins, our score line. Okay. Oh, there it is. I'm going to say I lost my pen again. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to come in here and line that up. And just to the right of my score line. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Same thing on this side. We're going to come in. And this textured paper happens to be directional. A lot of them aren't, but this brand is. And again, we're going to stay away from our score line there. And you can tell it's textured paper because it's pretty noisy. All right. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stay just to the left this time of my score line. Making sure my bottom and top edges are lined up nicely. Just a little bit there. There we go. So it creates our cover. Okay. So now our second pieces, we can do those now, I guess. So we're going to take our next two 6x6s, and those are going to get attached right to these. Okay, so when we open this, this will be our pocket. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to get both of my hinges ready. Put glue on both of my hinges. Plus, I'm going to add glue to my bottom edge here, which on this side is the right edge. Okay. And then I'm going to get this lined up here. Make sure that my edges are, my gusset is flat so I can see my gusset. Make sure my top and bottom edges are lined up just like that. Perfect. Okay. We're going to let that dry up a minute. There we go. And we don't want to mess with our pocket right this second. We're just going to let that dry up really good. Just removing some glue from my thing. And we're going to do the same on this side. We're going to get our hinges ready here. We're going to bead a glue this time down on our left side. Close up the pocket there. And put it on this hinge. Got a little glue under there. We don't want that. Ouch. Just poke myself with my needle. Okay. And this going here. So I'm going to line up, watching my gusset, watching my bottom edge there. There we go. Perfect. And I'll lift this up a second here, and you can see I lined that right up along my gusset there. Here's my 1/8 inch gusset. I lined it right up on that edge. Okay. Open that. Whoops. Looks a little crooked there. Let's see here. All right. Perfect. There we go. All right. So we have this, and then we've got two more. So these two are going to get attached to this outside edge here. Let me double check. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. Okay. Okay, so this gets attached to, what did I do? gets attached to the back side here. Okay. And then once you cover this, it will cover that edge there. Okay. So we're going to close both of those if you like. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to open one and I'm going to work on my right side. So here's my pocket that I just created, and I'm going to attach this to there. So let's go ahead and get our gusset out of the way. Okay, and we're going to attach this to that side there. I'm going to leave that open, and I'm going to come right in here along this edge here. Line up my bottom, my front here, make sure that's all lined up before I fasten this down. Okay. So as you see, now you've got that like that, okay? Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this one, open this one, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to attach this to the outer edge here, okay? So I'm going to flatten down my gusset. I'm going to get glue on my panel here. Here, right to my, it's going to be gusset on top of gusset basically, and I want to make sure that I'm lined up there nice, just like that. Okay. All right. And like I said, once you cover this with your cardstock, you won't see that. See, they'll kind of disappear there. So it'll be just fine. All right. So let's go ahead and close these all up the way they're supposed to be. So I always close in my right side first, and then my left side, then my right side, then my left side, right and left. Now you can see there you've got this. So if you wanted to do your ties on here, if you want to do ties, or like I did, I just did a magnet, but I'm not going to do that at this time because I'm not going to decorate this with that. But I am going to show you how to decorate, do your cuts for that center. So what you're going to do for your center, and I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper. I don't care what kind it is. Let's see here. I just want one big enough here. All right. So let me just grab a scrap piece here. Don't want anything too heavy. All right, this will work. All right. Put this down there. Oh wait, I already have. No, I don't want to use that one. Okay, let me grab my cutting board, and we're going to cut this down to, this is our larger piece here, so I just want to make sure because this is larger than the other. So 5 7/8 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, so it is the same size. Must be just the back page is bigger. So let me cut this down 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And we're going to cut the full thing to start with, and then we're going to trim it down to where we need it to be. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with this one. I'm going to flip it to the back, grab my template, and going to line that up. And because it's a little bit smaller, I'm just going to be hanging off the edge for each one there. And I'm just going to draw this out. Yep. Grab my mat and my blade. We're going to trim this. You notice I still got my cutter out because I'm going to need it here in a second. Okay. Oops. Off just a little bit there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to match this up, and I'm going to drop it down just a little bit. Oh, cut that wrong a little bit there, didn't I? Sliced in there wrong. So I would redo that. If this was, if I was going to keep this piece, I definitely would do that. I just miscut there. So what I'm going to do is drop it down about a 1/16 of an inch. And it looks like my bottom edge is okay, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'm still all right. So that's how you do that piece. So then I would just glue that down. So that is it. So right, left, right, left, right, left. And that is the 3-sheet wonder. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video and give it a try. Those are fun. Maybe for like a birthday party or something instead of a card. Or, you know, something where they can just put the photos for that day in there. You know, you can get quite a few photos in there. So, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate if you did so at this time. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button down in the right hand corner. After you do that, when the bell pops up, hit that and you can be notified each time I put up a new video. So again, I hope you enjoy the video. Thumbs up is always appreciated, and it helps draw some attention to my channel. So I do appreciate that. And as always, until the next time, I hope you have a great day.